call his. It is tail. That means Wayne will be going first, and then we'll follow the same format in an effort to achieve fundamental fairness, I'll call it. The first topic is this. This is an open topic, an open opportunity for you, the candidate, to provide information about yourself, including anything you wish to talk about, such as your ties and connections to Henry County and the people in Henry County, your education, family, background, your training and experience, what qualifies you to be sheriff, why do you want to be sheriff, and what do you see as the key areas that need to be addressed. And this is 4.5 to 5 minutes with a cutoff at 5 minutes.
Good evening. I'm Wayne Davis, the Sheriff of Henry County. First, I'd like to thank everyone for being here. It's truly great, and it's a blessing to see so many people who care about this community and the future of the Henry County Sheriff's Office. As we begin tonight, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I was born here in Martinsville, and my family and I have lived our entire lives right here in Henry County. My wife and I have been married for 17 years, and we have one son. He's 8 years old, and he's an incredible young man. He's here with us tonight. In addition to being the Sheriff of Henry County, I'm also a small business owner. I own Davis Custom Arms, where we perform gun work and gun sales. I began my career with the Henry County Sheriff's Office at the age of 21, and for the past 23 years, I've served the citizens of Henry County. During those 23 years, I've been promoted to and successfully held every rank inside the Henry County Sheriff's Office. I've served this community with honor, integrity, and a great level of sacrifice. And there's no one who understands that sacrifice better than my family, friends, including many here tonight, and those who serve alongside me. In addition to my daily duties at the Sheriff's Office for 23 years, I've taken on every collateral duty possible and every training opportunity available. I served over a decade on the Sheriff's Office dive team, where I'm one of the only divers to ever achieve the level of professional dive master, and I ultimately became the commander of that team. Simultaneously, I also served 21 years on the Sheriff's Office SWAT team, where I took on every training opportunity possible, hundreds of hours of tactical training, and I ultimately became the commander of that team, where I served nearly a decade on that team. I performed these volunteer duties in the service of this community and without any additional compensation. It was because of my care for the safety of our community I chose to do these things. I also served as the internal affairs investigator for 7 years, and that allowed me the opportunity to ensure the integrity of this profession, and I took that job seriously. I also served a number of years as our public information officer, where it was my duty to keep this community informed. In addition, I'm a graduate of the Virginia Forensic Science Academy School of Crime Scene Technology, and I'm also one of only 29 sheriffs in the state of Virginia to ever achieve certification through the Virginia Sheriff's Institute. Since taking office on July 1st, it's no secret, I've been tested. I've been tested with difficult employee decisions and situations. We've been tested with multiple homicides, a bank robbery, and all this is in addition to the daily duties of running the Sheriff's Office. And it's because of my training and experience that myself and this team have successfully navigated and corrected every one of those issues. Upon being appointed sheriff, I immediately went to work on improvements to better serve our citizens. My team and I have been busy working on a plan of actionable steps and implementing new programs. Since taking office, we have since placed a school resource officer in every Henry County public school. These school resource officers have not only ensured the safety of our students, but they're role models and they're mentors and they're building relationships with our kids. For the first time in over 20 years, I brought the DARE program back to Henry County, and it is alive and well this year. And so it's essential that we educate our youth about the dangers of drugs, alcohol, bullying, and social media safety. And this DARE program is designed to do just that, and I'm very proud of this accomplishment. Just this week, we went live with a new online reporting and comprehensive database called Citizen Connect. It provides an array of searchable data. This is a tool of transparency, and it will allow our citizens to feel more connected. We've completed a new defensive tactics facility and gym. We're fighting hard to remove drug dealers from our streets. In fact, we've served numerous search warrants, including one this morning. This is the first public release of a few of my endorsements. It's important that this community know that in the last few months I have earned numerous endorsements. They include the Henry County Martinsville Republican Committee, and that was by unanimous vote, the Martinsville-Henry County Voters League, and President Naomi Hodge Muse, and also Attorney General Jason Miyares has given me his full backing and endorsement, and he is the highest ranking law enforcement official in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
Thank you. Mike is yours.
Good evening, and thank you for having me here this evening. My name is Dale Mills, and I'm a candidate for sheriff in Henry County for this election on November the 7th. A little bit about myself. I was born and raised right here in Henry County. My family still lives here. My wife, my children, my grandchildren. I'm a 1987 graduate of Bassett High School. Following graduation in 1987, I joined the U.S. Army, where I served until 1990. I served as a communications specialist with training at Fort Jackson, Fort Gordon, and Neubrück, Germany. Upon my honorable discharge in 1990, I returned home to attend school here at Patrick Henry. I received a degree in general studies, a degree in applied science, criminal justice. During that time, I continued to serve my country in the Army Reserves and completed the Graduate School for Instructor Training course. In 1994, I began my career with the Henry County Sheriff's Office. That was a privilege. I spent 12 years working in corrections, and I was in corrections as a shift supervisor. From there, I attended the Law Enforcement Academy and moved on to patrol, and also served in the Community Policing Department. From there, I served as an evidence technician, where I was in charge of categorizing, safe handling, and security of thousands of items of evidence. I attended the school resource course and completed and was assigned as a school resource officer at Magna Vista High School. There, my duties were to provide safety and security to the students and staff, while also serving as a role model and a mentor. Civil process was the final stop in my 25-year career with the Henry County Sheriff's Office. During those 25 years, I was a member of the SWAT team, active shooter instructor, and had over 20 years on the Honor Guard. Since my retirement in 2019, I've served as a co-director with a local nonprofit, overseeing day-to-day activities, coordinating volunteer services, assisting in budgeting and grant writing, while being directly involved with building partnerships, resources within our community. A second part to the question that we had, why do you want to be sheriff? I've had numerous people in the public, when we've gone around talking in communities, they've asked me that same question. It's an easy question to answer. Service before politics. It's our logo. It's what we stand by. my experience with the military, my years of service in law enforcement and community service, along with my chief deputy, Darrell Hatcher. As you know, on July the 20th, we combined campaigns to better serve the citizens of Henry County. Areas to be addressed, another part of the question that was asked. In speaking with members of the community, they're concerned about their communities and reviving the neighborhood watch programs. We'll be here. We'll get that started back. That's a strong focus on the neighborhood watch programs and keeping them established. This establishment of the neighborhood watch programs will help provide information to the sheriff's office, check on elderly residents, and help report suspicious activities within our community. Another area of concern, and we'll address it later, is the ADC, the Adult Detention Center. And their concern is with officer training, supervision, and drug activity, drugs entering into the ADC. Thank you.
Thank you.
A broken or cracked windshield can ruin a day. At Daniels Auto Glass, it's our goal to make that unfortunate scenario as painless as possible. We have been servicing Franklin County and the surrounding area since 1995. Our customers are our neighbors, and we want you to know that you have the choice who repairs or replaces your windshield. And if you can't come out to us, we can come out to you. We also offer window tinting, and we are fully equipped and certified to reset all camera systems in any windshield, both in shop and with our mobile unit.
Sarver Cleaning Services is locally owned and operated since 1997, providing leading commercial and residential cleaning solutions in Virginia and North Carolina. Let us handle all your cleaning needs. 24-hour service, 7 days a week. Give them a call at 276-647-7667 or info@sarvercleaningservices.com.
Nelson Towing and Recovery has been serving Martinsville, Henry County, and the surrounding areas for 45 years. We have a talented, friendly staff with almost 100 years of combined experience. All of our drivers are certified and experienced in just about any situation. Our fleet of tow trucks contains a variety of modern vehicles that will meet every possible need. We also provide roadside assistance to help you out in case you have a flat tire or run out of fuel. Nelson Towing and Recovery, 888-257-8866.
Richard Sarver Realtor 2023 Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Realtor. For all your listings and selling needs, give him a call at 276-732-3187.
Keeping with our rotation, Dale will have the mic next, and this is the topic. Body cameras and dash cameras give you an opportunity to be essentially an eyewitness to how your deputies are performing in the scope of their duties. Body cams and dash cams give a judge or a jury the opportunity to be an eyewitness to events involved in the commission of crime and the arrests for crime. What is your position on equipping as many deputies as possible with such equipment, and aren't there funds available for the equipment, training, and retention of such footage?
Body cameras and dash cameras. I can say I am absolutely in favor of equipping every officer with a body camera. Body cameras provide accountability and transparency. Body cameras provide a visual and audio record of interactions between the police and the public. They promote accountability by ensuring officers are held responsible for their actions and behaviors during encounters with the public. The footage captured by body cameras can be used as evidence in investigations, resolving disputes, and holding individuals accountable for their actions. Body cameras capture real-time documentation and can serve as valuable evidence and presents an accurate account of events. Body cameras also supplement written reports, providing an additional layer of detail and accuracy. Body footage can be used as a tool for training and evaluating officers. Supervisors can review footage to identify where officers may need additional training or to recognize exceptional behavior within the officer. It allows the Sheriff's Office to access tactics, decision-making, and communication skills of the officer, which leads to improved performance and professionalism. The presence of body cameras can encourage both officers and members of the public to modify their behavior during interactions. Knowing they're being recorded encourages officers to adhere to policy and guidelines which promote professionalism and prevents misconduct. Similarly, individuals interacting with law enforcement may be less likely to engage in confrontational behavior while they know they're being recorded. Lastly, body cameras. They build trust. They build trust and can help improve community relations. The presence of body cameras can increase transparency, providing the public with a greater sense of confidence that officers will be held accountable for their actions. This transparency can bridge the gap between law enforcement and communities, reducing tensions and promoting positive interaction. Funding for body cameras and dash cameras. In May, at the Republican Forum, we met and spoke with the Attorney General's office, and they encouraged departments to apply for funding to meet these needs and additional equipment. Thank you.
Thank you. Wade and Mike, is yours, and following our rotation, you'll be first on the next question.
Okay, I'll grab that question as well. In regards to body cameras, the Henry County Sheriff's Office currently has both body cameras and in-car cameras. And these are an invaluable tool in the world of policing. Here at the Henry County Sheriff's Office, body-worn cameras are issued to every patrol deputy, every school resource officer, community policing deputy, street crimes deputy, and even our animal control officers wear body cameras. We even have a number of body cameras available to our criminal investigators, vice investigators, and civil process deputies in the event that they need them. We currently employ about 60 body cameras at the Henry County Sheriff's Office. We have a policy for that. Our agency policy is for that deputy to turn the camera on at every call for service, for every traffic stop, and even casual citizen encounters that become more than just casual. They are required to activate those cameras. We already have these systems in place to ensure accountability and transparency. We also have in-car cameras inside every patrol vehicle for the same purpose. They are required to activate those at every traffic stop. In fact, anytime they activate the blue lights, they automatically activate for accountability and transparency. These tools are great for being able to go back and review what happened at the call for service, or even in the case of the in-car camera, responding to the call for service. What happens at the traffic stop, all that is recorded. However, there are pros and cons to these systems, and we'll touch on them briefly. The pros, it's easy to review the events in detail. They can either dispel or confirm allegations against law enforcement. They're great tools for courtroom purposes, so a judge and or jury can view this firsthand from the officer's perspective. They provide actual footage of the events that the deputies were subject to. It takes some human error out of properly documenting events that occurred as long as the camera is properly pointing in the direction of the event. It provides an additional avenue of transparency, which I promised the citizens I would do. The deputy can see things going on in his or her peripheral vision that the camera may not, because the camera is mounted at chest height, not eye level, and the camera does not rotate like the deputy's head. That is one serious con that we've seen firsthand. Another con is they capture detail in low light situations that the human eye cannot capture. So when we review those, we have to keep that in mind. Another con, these cameras are expensive. We got about 60 of them at a cost of approximately $1,000 a piece. Our in-car cameras are $5,000 a piece, and there are also annual reoccurring costs and maintenance fees with each of those. There is grant funding that becomes available from time to time for this equipment, training, and retention of the video. However, they have stipulations, such as matching funding, which is typically not budgeted for, and they're typically only available to agencies who don't already have body cam policies in place. We have one. We have been excluded from most grant funding because of that. Our current retention for videos of evidential value and calls for service is an amazing 735 days. That's over 2 years. We store traffic stops and calls for service. Events without any evidential value, such as just a civil matter, the service of a civil subpoena, or checking on a broke down vehicle, they're deleted in 60 days. Numerous times we've used these to hold officers accountable, to dispel allegations that were falsely made against them, and they ensure that our officers are providing the highest level of service, because our supervisors review these body cameras at numerous levels throughout every shift. Thank you.
Thank you.
Nelson Towing and Recovery has been serving Martinsville-Henry County and the surrounding areas for 45 years. We have a talented, friendly staff with almost 100 years of combined experience. All of our drivers are certified and experienced in just about any situation. Our fleet of tow trucks contains a variety of modern vehicles that will meet every possible need. We also provide roadside assistance to help you out in case you have a flat tire or run out of fuel. Nelson Towing and Recovery, 888-257-8866.
Richard Sarver Realtor 2023 Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Realtor. For all your listings and selling needs, give him a call at 276-732-3187.
A broken or cracked windshield can ruin a day. At Daniels Auto Glass, it's our goal to make that unfortunate scenario as painless as possible. We have been servicing Franklin County and the surrounding area since 1995. Our customers are our neighbors, and we want you to know that you have the choice who repairs or replaces your windshield. And if you can't come out to us, we can come out to you. We also offer window tinting, and we are fully equipped and certified to reset all camera systems in any windshield, both in shop and with our mobile unit.
Sarver Cleaning Services is locally owned and operated since 1997, providing leading commercial and residential cleaning solutions in Virginia and North Carolina. Let us handle all your cleaning needs. 24-hour service, 7 days a week. Give them a call at 276-647-7667 or info@sarvercleaningservices.com.
One of the most revolutionary things that has happened in the practice of law, from my perspective, is body cams. And as a citizen, I think it's great. As a defense attorney, about 90% of the time, it's bad for my client. All right, the next, in fact, when you show a DUI client the body cam, that was me. I did that. I said that. I want to plead guilty. So it is a very effective law enforcement tool. All right, the next topic, can you hear me okay? I'm not.
Go right ahead.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, the next topic is, the nation has been rocked and its citizens shocked by the slaughter of students and teachers in mass shootings. Please outline your plans to ensure that your department responds as quickly and efficiently as possible to an active shooter inside a school. Please outline what you will recommend the protocol be with respect to what school officials should do. Please outline the protocol of what your department is supposed to do. Please set forth specific training drills to ensure proper performance of your deputies. Should there be and will there be, if you are elected, live practice drills at school? Will you have a specifically designated person who is trained and educated and an expert on such subjects? Should the children be involved in live drills? And you know, it just dawned on me that I think the cutoff ought to be 5 minutes on this one.
Thank you, Phil. As I said earlier, for the first time in the history of Henry County, we have a school resource officer inside of every Henry County school. Those school resource officers are the absolute first line of defense against any active shooter. They are all trained law enforcement officers. Many of them have been trained in advanced tactics. Some are even former SWAT team members, and all of them have received training in active shooter response. Secondly, we have equipped every law enforcement deputy with the tools and training needed to stop an active shooter. Many have received advanced tactical training as well. Every patrol division supervisor is now equipped with a ballistic shield capable of stopping rifle fire and advanced breaching capabilities, such as ballistic breaches, so they can get into any emergency situation. We have a 25-member SWAT team here at the Sheriff's Office. I spent 21 years on that team. And as the commander, we spared no expense in training or equipment to ensure that we were prepared for any active shooter. There's no doubt that Henry County has one of the best equipped SWAT teams in the region, and we have the training and equipment necessary to stop any active shooting situation. Our team has conducted training, live training inside the Henry County schools for nearly 2 decades. We don't advertise this. We don't advertise a lot of our tips and tricks, for lack of better terms. These are live practice drills with force-on-force training designed to simulate real gun battles. In 2013, I completed the Department of Homeland Security's Federal Law Enforcement Active Shooter Response Emergency Training to teach other officers. I am instructor certified myself. Over the years, I have trained numerous law enforcement officers in the proper way to handle an active shooter situation. In addition, there are 8 other federally certified instructors in our agency. We have several people inside the Sheriff's Office, including myself, who would undoubtedly be considered experts on active shooter response and the training of other deputies who may respond to those situations. Just recently, I partnered with Texas A&M University and their alert program, and we assembled a team of instructors to bring the civilian response to active shooter emergencies right here to our community. So in addition to our officers, we're training our community. In its pilot stages, I have personally trained hundreds of our local educators in our schools and our houses of worship, and we will be advertising that to the community to seek it out here shortly. We're very proud of that. Regarding children being involved in live drills, the Sheriff's Office, in conjunction with Henry County Public Schools, already conducts numerous lockdown drills inside the school system annually. The students are there and they participate in these drills. That is it. And I'll tell you why. I do not believe that any child should be subject to any tactical type drill where there are simulated casualties. This would introduce not only the Sheriff's Office, but the Henry County Public School System to potential liability. This can be highly traumatic to the child. And in fact, modern best practices recommends law enforcement officers don't even conduct an interview with a child to prevent the introduction of trauma, much less a live drill where there's a simulated gun battle and or casualties. That is a terrible idea. To even interview these children, we have to have them interviewed now for a standard crime by a specially trained forensic interviewer to reduce the potential for childhood trauma. So I do not believe they should be subjected to anything beyond the standard lockdown drills. And having seen that firsthand, Especially at the elementary level, it is traumatic for these kids to have to hide under a desk because they're told someone's going to kill them. In addition, should a student decide to commit an act of violence themselves, if they had had the opportunity to participate in or view any tactical style drill, this would only educate them on the tools and tactics that we would utilize to mitigate this type of attack. Thank you.
There is no greater attack on the infrastructure of our nation than a threat to our children. In 2023 alone, there have been 198 school shooting incidents, 6 active shooters, that's across our nation. A well-trained and coordinated response is crucial to dealing with an active shooter threat in our school system. I do commend the Henry County Sheriff's Office for placing a school resource officer in the elementary schools. It's long overdue. That school resource officer will be your first line of defense. He will be your first officer to respond to an active shooter. And he needs to respond in a timely manner. You must understand, seconds here can cost lives. Once the Sheriff's Office is alerted to an active shooter, officers will respond to the school location and as the school alerts through the 911 system and a direct line. Officers will secure the perimeter to prevent the shooter from escaping and protect potential victims from the outside immediate danger zone. Officers will also work to prevent unauthorized individuals from entering into the area. Law enforcement will gather information upon their arrival about the shooter to include the location, the identity, if known, and number of potential victims. This information helps guide the tactical response in the decision-making process. The primary goal of law enforcement is to neutralize the shooter and stop the threat. Officers will form specialized response teams, such as SWAT. I've been a member of the SWAT team. I've trained in the schools. It's imperative that every officer has that same training and general information of the schools. Not just one school, every school in the district. But the goal is to engage the shooter and use appropriate force to eliminate the threat. Once the threat has been neutralized, law enforcement will secure the area and begin evacuating the students and staff from the school. The role that school officials play is critical in an active shooter situation. The school officials are responsible for implementing emergency response plans and working closely with law enforcement to ensure a coordinated and effective response. School officials will activate lockdown procedures, communicate with students and staff, provide information to law enforcement regarding the layout and potential hiding spots within the school. And they'll also assist in the evacuation process. School officials should follow the guidance of law enforcement officers and provide any necessary information to aid in the resolution of the situation. Active shooter training should and will be conducted in the school systems to ensure officers' familiarity with the all schools layout. Active shooter training should not involve the children in any live fire, Sims munition scenarios. The lockdown drills that they go through now, that's traumatic enough. But they need to understand that the threat can be real. The department will have active shooter trainers to ensure proper training for the officers. Too frequently, we hear of a school shooting and other violent events that occur across the nation, hoping that such a tragedy doesn't happen here is not a plan. Responding to these events requires pre-planning, training, and exercises. Responding to an active shooter situation is a tragedy that no community should ever have to face. Proper preparation and training is the best means to develop a coordinated response that will effectively address the immediate threat, respond to and assist the victims, and assist the community with a lengthy recovery that will take years to complete. Thank you.
Okay.
A broken or cracked windshield can ruin a day. At Daniels Auto Glass, it's our goal to make that unfortunate scenario as painless as possible. We have been servicing Franklin County and the surrounding area since 1995. Our customers are our neighbors, and we want you to know that you have the choice who repairs or replaces your windshield. And if you can't come out to us, we can come out to you. We also offer window tinting, and we are fully equipped and certified to reset all camera systems in any windshield, both in shop and with our mobile unit.
Sarver Cleaning Services is locally owned and operated since 1997, providing leading commercial and residential cleaning solutions in Virginia and North Carolina. Let us handle all your cleaning needs. 24-hour service, 7 days a week. Give them a call at 276-647-7667 or info@sarvercleaningservices.com.
Nelson Towing and Recovery has been serving Martinsville, Henry County, and the surrounding areas for 45 years. We have a talented, friendly staff with almost 100 years of combined experience. All of our drivers are certified and experienced in just about any situation. Our fleet of tow trucks contains a variety of modern vehicles that will meet every possible need. We also provide roadside assistance to help you out in case you have a flat tire or run out of fuel. Nelson Towing and Recovery, 888-257-8866.
Richard Sarver Realtor 2023 Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Realtor. For all your listings and selling needs, give him a call at 276-732-3187.
You know, I've been looking around a little, and I think I'm the only one here old enough to have been in a nuclear bomb drill and hidden under his desk in elementary school. Anybody else? Well, all right. We have a few senior citizens. Somehow the possible reality of a nuclear bomb going off and while I'm in elementary school really didn't cross my radar. The next question has to do with the jail, and it's sort of a rambling invitation to our candidates to discuss some of the issues involved in the new jail. Whether a 400-person jail should or should not have been built is water over the dam. The fact is we have it, and the Board of Supervisors and the current administration are obviously in favor of filling it up. This will require the sheriff to be the ultimate person in charge of a facility housing 400 people who do not want to be housed there, 24/7, providing food, clothing, shelter, safety, and necessary medical treatment. And if the bulletin is accurate, we will take up to 70 federal prisoners and up to 100 prisoners from basically anybody in Virginia who wants to send a prisoner to us. Obviously, we will get troublemakers and the worst of the worst and don't have the luxury of sending them back. Please address your view of the wisdom of filling the jail up with prisoners from wherever we can get them. Please address your view of the drain on the sheriff's resources to properly manage such a full house facility. Please address how you plan to staff the facility and ensure the safety of prisoners and deputies who are pulling time from our local courts. And this is cut off at 5 minutes, and there's no real strict adherence to the letter of the question. You get the gist of the concern. Dale is up at the mic next.
The Adult Detention Center, a 400-bed, $72 million modern facility. This facility is designed with rehabilitation in mind. But we're going to start. The above statement is entirely true. What Mr. Gardner read. As sheriff, my main concern is the safety and security of both the inmates and the staff. Currently, there are approximately 100 uniformed staff at the detention center. The vast majority of this staff has less than 18 months of service. I agree. The fiscal aspect needs to be addressed. The County Board of Supervisors, they were sold a faulty bill of goods when they were promised $1 million surplus in funds, but instead, $210,000 was generated. That was the reality. Why is that so? Planning. We must plan. My plan is to safely bring inmates from neighboring jurisdictions such as Franklin County, Pittsylvania County. Martinsville City has already agreed and started sending inmates to the Henry County Jail. For that, I thank Sheriff Draper for his assistance. Talking about federal inmates. Federal inmates who have been unsentenced will have court dates. Their court dates in federal court, that's going to be Danville and Roanoke. This is going to be a burden because additional equipment is needed and manpower. The single most dangerous time for an officer is in the transportation of inmates to and from court. Doctors, transportation, any transportation of an inmate is going to require 2 officers per inmate. That's tying up a lot of manpower. In order to house 400 inmates, the adult detention center must be fully staffed. When we're dealing with issues of fully staffed, we're dealing with issues of retention. We've got to work to make the detention center a safe place for people to work. You've got to increase morale. Morale increases retention. Since July, nearly 20 officers have either resigned or been terminated. This type of attrition can't be sustained to safely run the detention center. Leadership. Leadership must stand up to be accountable and be approachable to the ADC staff. Federal inmates and local inmates, when you talk about their housing, they're going to have to be housed separately, not only for classification reasons, but for restrictions these federal inmates may have based on federal policy. The majority of federal inmates across the nation are either sentenced for drug trafficking offenses or firearm violations. This will take a diligent effort from all staff to ensure field training is properly disseminated. Field training is so important for the officers. Entering into the ADC, that's the officer's first experience coming into the law enforcement field. Training is required daily. Training from direct supervision. Training from a field training officer who is a veteran and has experience. Leadership must interact with the staff on what is expected. And simply, everyone must work together. We must be a cohesive unit to ensure safety and security within the adult detention center. Thank you.
In 2016, Mosley Architects presented a community-based corrections plan to the Henry County Board of Supervisors. The findings of that plan estimated by the year 2023, Our inmate population here in Henry County will be between 400 and 467. This study was required by the Virginia Department of Corrections. And based on these estimated needs, this community spent over $70 million to build a state-of-the-art adult detention center. Before it was completed, it was estimated that Henry County could generate about $1 million in revenue annually by housing inmates for other jurisdictions. The problem now is if we fail to generate this revenue, then we still must balance our budget through other means, such as cutting training, equipment, or other line items. Those estimates were done pre-COVID and didn't take a lot of things into account. We've seen that local inmate populations are down across the entire Commonwealth. I have personally reached out to Pittsylvania County, Franklin County, Patrick County, and the city of Martinsville about housing inmates. Pittsylvania County is under contract with the Blue Ridge Regional Jail Network. They have no need for inmate bed space. Franklin County is under contract with the Western Virginia Regional Jail. They have no need for bed space. And we are currently housing, as of today, 20 inmates for the city of Martinsville. When the Adult Detention Center opened, the State Compensation Board provided funding to staff that facility for 400 inmates. That is a rate of 1 deputy per 3 inmates. This means this facility at full staff is already ready to house 400 inmates. We currently have an average daily population of only 250. In August, I signed an intergovernmental agreement with the United States Marshal Service for the Western District of North Carolina. In its initial phases, we will house a maximum of 50 federal inmates at a $65 per day per diem, which generates $1.1 million in annual revenue. When the facility is ready and properly staffed and trained, we can expand that to 200. That's $4.7 million in income for this community. That income is needed, and it also reduces the fiscal burden on Henry County and thereby the taxpayers. The inmates that we will house for the Marshal Service, they're criminal offenders. They're awaiting trial, they're pretrial detainees. Despite the rumors that have circulated this community, they're not known terrorists, ICE or immigration detainees. And none of these inmates will ever be released from the Henry County Adult Detention Center to walk the streets of Martinsville and Henry County. They will be returned to Charlotte, North Carolina, where they will be processed out or sent to federal prison to serve out their term. The United States Marshal Service is responsible for those transports back and forth to Charlotte. It will not be a burden on Henry County. To address some other concerns, these offenders are not the worst of the worst, as stated in the question. We do, in fact, reserve the right to send them back if they cause problems for our staff. This will not be a drain on our resources because we have a state-of-the-art facility that already has the staffing for 400 inmates. We're only at 250. We will only house inmates for the city of Martinsville and the United States Marshal Service, not anywhere in Virginia, as the question said. The Sheriff's Office has 239 employees. As of today, there were 17 openings. That's 7% of our work. 17 openings, 7% of our workforce. I'm pretty proud of that. That's pretty good. Even with the addition of the 50 federal inmates, that takes our average daily population to 300, putting us at only 75% of capacity. We are fully confident that our staff is more than capable of safely handling that number of inmates. If they weren't, I simply wouldn't do it. We have first-class supervisors in there. I'm very proud of them. And in regards to the 20 officers that's left the Adult Detention Center through resignation or termination since July, I made a promise to this community that I would hold our deputies accountable if they broke this community's trust. And I have done just that, and I will continue to do so. Thank you.
Nelson Towing and Recovery has been serving Martinsville, Henry County, and the surrounding areas for 45 years. We have a talented, friendly staff with almost 100 years of combined experience. All of our drivers are certified and experienced in just about any situation. Our fleet of tow trucks contains a variety of modern vehicles that will meet every possible need. We also provide roadside assistance to help you out in case you have a flat tire or run out of fuel. Nelson Towing and Recovery, 888-257-8866.
Richard Sarver Realtor 2023 Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Realtor. For all your listings and selling needs, give him a call at 276-732-3187.
A broken or cracked windshield can ruin a day. At Daniels Auto Glass, it's our goal to make that unfortunate scenario as painless as possible. We have been servicing Franklin County and the surrounding area since 1995. Our customers are our neighbors, and we want you to know that you have the choice who repairs or replaces your windshield. And if you can't come out to us, we can come out to you. We also offer window tinting, and we are fully equipped and certified to reset all camera systems in any windshield, both in shop and with our mobile unit.
Sarver Cleaning Services is locally owned and operated since 1997, providing leading commercial and residential cleaning solutions in Virginia and North Carolina. Let us handle all your cleaning needs. 24-hour service, 7 days a week. Give them a call at 276-647-7667 or info@sarvercleaningservices.com.
We are moving along pretty darn well, and so I'm going to change up a little bit on the last question, and I'm going to invite you and provide additional time to expand that. The last question was, please take this final opportunity to address any points of disagreement each of you may have with statements made by the other. This is not an invitation to be nitpicky and critical, simply an opportunity to point out where you might disagree with the other candidate on matters of policy and why you think your approach would be better. And what I want to add to that is the invitation to address and take up to, say, 3 additional minutes to address, just like we did for the supervisors. If there's something that you think, you know, why didn't they ask me this, or they should have asked me this, or that's a more important question. If there is a more important question that you feel didn't get asked, take this opportunity, and we'll cut you off at 6 minutes. So it's kind of a 2-part question. And let's see, Dale, you'd be up with the mic next, right? Okay.
I think Mr. Davis and I have we've had some points that we can agree on. We've had some strong conversation here, that some good ideas have been generated. I'd like to do something a little different. I want to provide a conclusion to this evening. And it goes back to our campaign motto. I want to talk a little bit about service before politics. It's rooted in the idea that public officials should put the needs of the people first and foremost. It encourages elected officials to act in the best interest of the citizens, make decisions based on the greater good, and work towards the betterment of the county as a whole. On July the 20th, Darrell Hatcher and I, we combined our efforts so as to provide the citizens of Henry County a superior level of safety, security, and service. Together, we have more than 60 years of service to our nation, our state, our county, and our community. A level of commitment to morals and ethical behavior that is unparalleled. Egos have been cast aside, personal agendas laid to rest. So by working together, we can better serve every citizen of Henry County and continue to build a stronger, more cohesive sheriff's office based on the principles of fairness, trust, and integrity. Tonight, I stand before you. I'm a conservative, family-oriented man. I have Christian values, and I promise And I know I've been asked, how many promises have you made? That's your first for this campaign. I promise I'll work diligently to ensure your safety and well-being. The position of sheriff and service to the citizens of Henry County is something I hold dearly, and I will keep in the highest of esteem. One question that follows along with that that I was hoping I would hear, and it deals with officer morale. The police officer, the correctional officer, the family that goes along with that. Prior to taking office, I would like to personally interview every sworn officer and every staff member. I want to hear their concerns. I want to hear your ideas, how we can make the Henry County Sheriff's Office more efficient. I want to hear about your goals. I want to hear about your aspirations so that we can better serve the citizens of Henry County. My administration will work diligently to earn your trust and support of the officers and the civilian staff. We'll work to create an atmosphere where every officer is encouraged to reach their full potential through training, education, and support. I'll listen to your concerns and your ideas to make the Henry County Sheriff's Office a more productive environment. There'll be a strong focus on mental and physical health of the officers and their families. Take advantage of the services offered by the local businesses. Some examples, I know it's been mentioned before, with keeping yourself physically healthy, the local gyms. I've spoken with a nutritionist, financial management. We want to encompass the whole officer. And lastly, rest assured, your promotion and your ascension through the Henry County Sheriff's Office will be based on your merit. And again, you're going to be encouraged to reach your full potential, and you'll be aided and assisted in every means possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Wayne, you're up, and obviously you may also consider it an open topic. There's no rigidity to the format.
6 minutes in rebuttal if we desire.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. I do have a couple issues of rebuttal that I took some notes on I'd like to discuss. One is the Neighborhood Watch Program. The Henry County Sheriff's Office has a Neighborhood Watch Program that is modeled under the national model. And what the community needs to understand is that the Sheriff's Office only serves as a moderator for those Neighborhood Watch Programs. The Sheriff's Office cannot go out into the community and force any neighborhood group to implement a Neighborhood Watch Program. When we have groups of concerned citizens who come together, then we moderate that, we provide them with the materials necessary, and we even meet with them to provide topics. But we cannot force any neighborhood to form a Neighborhood Watch Group. We are under the National Sheriff's Association model on that, the same way it's done across the country. So that is in place. And second, I disagree a little bit about the Adult Detention Center. We are ready to house these federal inmates. We are ready to house them because we have 150 empty beds right now tonight, and we need to take the opportunity to generate that revenue for this community. If we don't, like I said, we balance the budget through other means. We have first-class supervisors in that facility, and we have first-class deputies working that facility. And don't let anyone tell you any different. They are prepared and ready. Again, I'd like to recap a couple things that's happened in the last 60 days. We completed the Defensive Tactics Training Facility and a full gym for our deputies to promote officer wellness. $40,000 worth of drug dealer money that cost this community nothing. So their fitness and performance is first and foremost, and it's used daily. We're bringing advanced license plate readers to this community. $250,000 worth of them at no cost to the taxpayers to fight violent crime. Since taking office, we have began to really ratchet up our drug enforcement efforts, and we have executed numerous search warrants on the homes of drug dealers. One this morning, with many more to come, and I promise that you'll see. We've been at nearly every community event at a level that we've never been in years. Our community policing unit has stepped up their game, and they're engaging this community like we never have before. Since being appointed sheriff, I've not wasted 1 minute. We've made a lot of traction in a short period of time. With that being said, the community needs to know that I am the only certified law enforcement officer seeking the position of sheriff. Not only that, my entire team is also fully certified by the Virginia Department of Criminal Justice Services. Why is this important? These laws were written decades ago. It's 2023. A sheriff must be up to date with the most modern best practices if he supervises 239 employees that are required to be certified by the Department of Criminal Justice Services. How can we have a sheriff that's not? My team and I have a combined 152 years of experience, spanning every area of the sheriff's office. We're the only administrative team that has experience supervising 239 employees, the operations of our $73 million adult detention center, and a $21 million annual budget. Again, the endorsements that I've earned over the past months speak volumes about our performance. Again, I am the endorsed candidate by the Martinsville-Henry County Republican Committee. I am the endorsed candidate by the Martinsville-Henry County Voters League and its president, Naomi Hodge Muse. And I am the endorsed candidate by the Attorney General of the Commonwealth, Jason Miyares. I love this community, and it's truly a desire to serve as your sheriff. I give this place 110%. You can ask my wife. I work 12 to 14 hours a day, 5 days a week, and I come out every time my people are called on the weekend. It's with a servant's heart that I chose to partake in this role. And I'm going to ask every citizen of Henry County for their vote on November the 7th, because a vote for Davis for sheriff is truly a vote for experience and proven leadership. Thank you all for being here tonight, and thank you for your interest in this community.
Just as I said at the conclusion of the Supervisors Forum, we're fortunate as a community to have two such men as we have here, trying to get what I think is maybe the hardest job on the planet. I'm thinking to myself, you really want this job? 230, 40 employees, running a big hotel with folks who don't want to be there, serving civil papers, responsible for courtroom security, criminal records, prisoner transportation, and the list goes on and on. And I just want to tell you both how much, as a citizen of Henry County, I respect that you're willing to undertake this, and thank you for throwing your hat in the ring. And it's like a dog chasing a car. I hope you catch it. Thank you all. Good night, and thank you again.
A broken or cracked windshield can ruin a day. At Daniels Auto Glass, it's our goal to make that unfortunate scenario as painless as possible. We have been servicing Franklin County and the surrounding area since 1995. Our customers are our neighbors, and we want you to know that you have the choice who repairs or replaces your windshield. And if you can't come out to us, we can come out to you. We also offer window tinting, and we are fully equipped and certified to reset all camera systems in any windshield, both in shop and with our mobile unit.
Sarver Cleaning Services is locally owned and operated since 1997, providing leading commercial and residential cleaning solutions in Virginia and North Carolina. Let us handle all your cleaning needs. 24-hour service, 7 days a week. Give them a call at 276-647-7667 or info@sarvercleaningservices.com.
Nelson Towing and Recovery has been serving Martinsville, Henry County, and the surrounding areas for 45 years. We have a talented, friendly staff with almost 100 years of combined experience. All of our drivers are certified and experienced in just about any situation. Our fleet of tow trucks contains a variety of modern vehicles that will meet every possible need. We also provide roadside assistance to help you out in case you have a flat tire or run out of fuel. Nelson Towing and Recovery, 888-257-8866.
Richard Sarver Realtor 2023 Reader's Choice Award winner for Best Realtor. For all your listings and selling needs, give him a call at 276-732-3187.